Hi guys, thanks for joining in today. I appreciate you logging on and viewing the video. For those of you that don't know me, it's your first time viewing, my name is Matthew Johnson. We own the MT Johnson Agency. We work with life and health agents to better their income and better protect families. I just wanted to go over a couple of things with you today. A lot of times people will ask me, Matt, why should I get insurance? Why should I get life insurance? What's the purpose of it? How could it benefit me? How could it help my family out? And when I tell people that's a great question, what can life insurance do for you? And there's a great spectrum of things that life insurance can do. So we won't go into everything today, but I do want to go into just a couple of aspects of it with you. And I put this little slideshow together, so if you can bear with me here just a little bit. But the five most common reasons why people do life insurance. And then I put this little disclaimer down here if you want to subscribe. I always forget to mention that. So if you can just click the button and subscribe to the page and not miss out on any of the content that we share with you. But the first reason that I wanted to kind of go into today is starting a family. So what we deal with a lot of times with our clientele is people that are just they're just getting started with their family. They either just got married, they just had kids, and the significance of this is usually you have especially in California, we need both family members working, we need both parent figures working when there's a family unit involved. It makes life a little bit easier to have those two incomes. So I put this on there: having dependents and people who rely on you to survive because of your income you earn is stressful enough. If you add the stress of what would life be like for them if something were to happen to you, that could bring on that stress even in an unbearable way. And the whole reasoning behind this, the whole thought process of behind this is, if you're married and you have some young kids in the house, what is their quality of life going to be like if something were to happen to you? If you were to pass away, would those bills still be able to get paid? Would the rent still be able to get paid? Would the car payment still be able to get paid? And what would that mean for your family? So having that protection in case something were to happen to you, there's something left behind for them that can go to pay off those bills is a tremendous asset. The second reason that I like to tell people about is when you're buying a home. And obviously, this one can be, more of a common sense one. When you're buying a home, you have that mortgage price. You have that new bill every single month. Now, same concept. If something were to happen to you, what would happen to that mortgage? Would your spouse be able to pay for that? Would your loved ones be able to keep up on those payments without your added income into the equation? And so this is just having an extra protection. A lot of times, what we use for this is what's called term life, and we'll kind of get into that in some other videos that we do. But we'll use like a term that will kind of almost count down for the length of your mortgage, and that way it'll cover that mortgage in case something happens to you. But it's a term, so it's a little bit more cost effective for you. But there's a lot of different options that we can go into. The third one is just trying to financially plan. Um, you know, starting out, when I first started out with a family and getting married and started having kids, that concept was always there. What am I going to do to financially plan? What if there's a disaster that hits? What if something happens? And I love this quote. There's a famous quote in the investing world, and it says, "The best time to start investing is when you're young. The second best time is right now." You got to do it right now. And I say the same thing about life insurance. Insurance is cheaper when you're younger. Obviously, it's cheaper when you're in better health. However, no matter how healthy you are right now, that can always change in the blink of an eye. So the best time to get life insurance is right now, no matter what your age is. Obviously, it's better when you're younger, but you're never going to get younger again. So the best time that you can get it is right now. The fourth thing is just when extra cash that is needed. There's a reason why some of the wealthiest people in the world still buy life insurance. There's a reason why they use it as an investing tool. And like any other investment, life insurance can build value over time on a tax deferred basis. So if you have, that's a huge concept. I know it's not. We didn't go into depth in that, and it's a huge concept. So if you want to learn more about that, there's a link that's going to be provided. You could set up a time to meet with me, and we can kind of go over different options and what would be better for you, because that can take up a huge amount of time just going into that one reason of why people would use life insurance. And the last one that we're going to talk about just briefly today is funeral expenses. I came out of the funeral industry. That's how I got started in the insurance world. And making sure that your family has enough money for your funeral expenses is huge. When I was working in the funeral industry, I would see people come in all the time, and they're already in the grieving process. They just lost a loved one. There's this vacancy, there's this hole in their life of where their loved one once was, and so they're already dealing with all of that. And now we have to add the aspect of how are you going to pay for the funeral on top of it. The healing process is there, the grieving process is there, and now we're creating a financial burden. So what this does is it eliminates the financial burden from them, and it places it on the insurance company to take care of those needs. In essence, eliminating that expense for the family. So all they have to do is just focus on the healing process and their own grief and how they're going to cope with that and how they're going to cope with the loss, how they're going to maybe comfort the other family members and take care of those needs instead of the financial burden. Those are the top 5 reasons why people invest in life insurance. Maybe one of those reasons fit for you. If it does, like I said, there's going to be a link below. We can create a time to meet. We do things kind of virtually now since COVID hit. We meet through Zoom. It takes about 15, 30 minutes, kind of depending on what kind of questions you have. And I can answer any questions you have, or you can leave with a better understanding of how life insurance can help you, help protect your family, and cover those needed expenses, and just in case something should happen, and how you can plan, in essence, financially for your future. But thank you so much. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And like I said, if you want to meet with me, I would be happy to sit down with you and go over any questions that you might have.